So really, there's only two aspects to wishes coming true. It's determined by the clarity of your intention and whether your intention comes from within, and how much energy you have. Energy can be called chi, life energy, prana, life force. And today we'll discuss intentions. So science of intention, science of willpower. And then we'll discuss the second part, energy. What gives us energy and how we lose energy. And there's only one nuance here with intention plus energy. And this is the nuance that we'll begin our first practice with. And it's that it is intention plus energy, but there's also a karmic aspect to it. And it's that you only get the things that you can wish for, every person on this earth. Every wish comes true as long as it's a wish you also have towards every other person. That's where the Buddhist practice of metta, loving kindness, compassion all come in. So if you want a happy, healthy relationship with a partner you adore who adores you, but you don't want that for your friend Wanda, and you don't want it, God forbid, for your ex, because your ex does not deserve that, then you might get relationships, but they'll come and go. You might have moments of those happy relationships, but it's not something that will stably be in your life with a sense of peace. So even you might get things that you wish for, but it'll be an on and off kind of relationship until you can close your eyes and with a genuine open heart say, I want this for every single being on this earth. So we were talking yesterday about how the inner and the outer are really the same. Accepting yourself means accepting every ancestor. We'll have a Q&A session at the end, and feel free to bring back ancestors' questions and also intentions, willpower questions. It's the same for wishes coming true. Removing blockages to what you want towards everyone, you remove them for yourself. So I thought that would be a very good first practice. We'll start with deep breathing, a little breath focus, and then we'll wish for the genuine happiness and love for everyone on this earth. Love, health, happiness, and that'll set you up for writing your own intentions and those intentions actually coming true. So first, put everything down. Thank you to all of you who brought something to write on or with. That'll come in useful. I want you to write at least 100 wishes before 2026. Find your straight spine, and we'll inhale for a count of 4, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out like through a straw for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Second time, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath in this way, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale out through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And begin by connecting to your breath, transitioning from the complexity of the mind to the simplicity of the breath by feeling the sensation of the breath in the nose or in the throat or in the chest or in the belly. And now imagine you can send the breath right into the heart and breathe out right from the heart. Imagine as if you had lungs or nostrils right at the heart. They go right into the heart, right out of the heart. We open up this area, we feel into this area. And from this open heart, imagine in your mind's eye first everyone in this room. Can you wish with your full heart that everyone in this room right now be happy, truly, deeply happy with joy every day, and healthy and strong, and safe with deep inner safety, outer safety. Sending that wish to everyone on your left, on your right, behind you, in front of you in this room. Find the joy in this wish. And can you expand this wish to everyone at Menla? Everyone on this property now. Some are eating, some are walking, some are sleeping, some are meditating, some are shoveling snow. Every single person at Menla right now, may they be happy with love in their hearts, with happy relationships, inner peace, safety. And how does it feel to share this wish from the bottom of your heart? If we wish it for others, we're also wishing it for ourselves. And now expand this wish to everyone you've ever encountered in your life. Think about this village of people you've spoken to, are related to, have met. May every person you know feel loved and appreciated. Be happy and at peace. May every person you know find safety. May every person you know have ease to everything they do, and love in their hearts, beauty around them. A heart filled with joy. Giving that gift of that wish towards everyone you've ever met. And now acknowledge that the people you don't know personally, we are still all connected. There are even more people you don't know, but their joys are still your joys. More suffering for them is still more suffering for anyone else on this earth. So now imagine all the people you haven't encountered. Every woman, every man, every child. See the heart of every person you don't know fill with warmth and compassion. Send the wish, may their hearts sing with joy, with love. May it resonate with settledness. Imagine each and every person feeling loved and appreciated. Feeling belonging. Knowing their strength. Opening up your heart to everyone in the universe. Seeing every heart filled with trust and belonging and safety and love. And now wish that for every being in the universe, not only in this present moment, but across time. All beings in the past, all beings in the future, because we are all timeless. And now take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And feel the peace, the resource you have created. If you can wish happiness toward every being on this earth, you can wish it towards yourself too. Ending with the wish, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe so that I get to experience and share it with others. And now transition into this space. And as you hear the sound of the bell and gently open your eyes, share a loving, warm, appreciative gaze with just a couple people around you. Sharing that compassion, meeting them with a smile, thinking, may you be happy. I wish you happiness. I wish you joy. I wish you love. And now let this be the way we interact for the next 4 days. Maybe not those words, but the intention behind those words. So congratulations, you just did the first step to all your wishes coming true, which is wishing for every single being on earth, may all their true heart's wishes come true. And the heart's wishes are never destructive. The heart's wishes are always good for you and good for everyone. So first is the karmic aspect, which you just need to clear. And then it's getting very clear on your intentions and figuring out exactly how to cultivate energy. And energy is even more mental than it is physical. It's extremely physical. All the physical parts need to be there, like diet, sleep, movement. They need to be there, like healthy foods. But you can have all of those, but without the mental shifts for more energy, you're not going to have energy. You can be eating all the right foods, be getting lots of sleep, lots of movement, even keeping a gratitude diary, which is a great idea, and have no energy. Raise your hand if you've been there, if you know what I mean. So we need the mental shifts too. But we'll start with intentions. There is an ancient Chinese proverb, when the intention is clear, so is the way. Or a similar teaching from Nietzsche that when you know the why, all the hows fall into place. The how becomes clear if you're very, very certain about the why. So we're going to get very clear on that today. But just like yesterday, we started with signposts. We'll start with 5 signposts about intentions. And signposts for me are kind of these ideas throughout time and throughout cultures. I think what makes my approach to teaching this material unique is I have a Buddhist theology degree and background. My way of thinking is Buddhist. But what I like most about Buddhism is this teaching that if it is true, pretend the Buddha said it. And if it's not true and the Buddha said it, then pretend the Buddha didn't say it. It's taking what's true and real, taking the most helpful teaching from the world at large. Reality is our teacher. So I take these teachings from ancient Chinese philosophy, from Hinduism, from Christianity, from Judaism, from Islam, from Buddhism, of course, from experience, from meditation, and the signposts are kind of a way to kind of start to put that jigsaw puzzle together because it's about reality. It's not about any one spiritual tradition, although, of course, I'm very happy to be here at Menla, and my heart, my framework is very Buddhist. So in Buddhism, let's start there, the intention behind the action is more important than the action itself. So intention is the most powerful force, and it's the intention that changes the world around us more so than the action. What's inside is even more powerful than what's on the outside. A very strong intention will turn the whole world around. With a very strong intention, everything starts to fall into place in ways that are unimaginable, that cannot even be stated. And I've seen this. Raise your hand if you know what I mean. That sometimes you had a very strong intention and you had no idea how things worked out. And they started to fall into place. I remember experiencing this. You'll find this very funny, but I experienced this in middle school. In middle school, I loved the classics, ancient Latin, like Latin, ancient Greek. I was studying them very seriously as a middle schooler. And this sounds so funny, but I didn't want anything more than to be the president of the Latin club of my middle school. and the Latin club was actually like a very popular thing at my particular middle school for whatever reason. Like this very cool teacher led it. I had 5 other candidates, and I was one of the 5 candidates, or there were like 5 others. And I just loved the classics so much. I had ideas for events, and just like deep inside, I woke up like I had this very strong intention. I was not the most popular girl in middle school, in my school. I was very much like the studious, do all my homework, nerdy kind, but I really wanted to be president of this club. And in the morning, the election started with 6 candidates, and somehow by that afternoon, 4 of them had dropped out, and it was just me and another girl. And the Latin teacher's like, oh, well, it makes sense. You and Caroline are presidents, then congratulations. We don't need to hold elections. And at that moment, I realized I just had such a strong intention that for whatever reason, the other 4 people said, oh, I'm not actually interested in doing this by the end of the day. I've seen this happen in my own life on a greater scale than Latin Club elections, and also I've seen this happen in the Happiness Sangha members, the students in my meditation center who have done this. So set the intention. The intention is actually the force more so than the action. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, prayer is actually a way to structure intention. We pray so that we know what our intention is. John 1, first there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Stating what you want, saying what you want is already powerful. I'll read you something from Philip Moffat, a wonderful Buddhist teacher in California. Intention is important. Naturally, sometimes things go well for you and other times not, but you do not live and die by these endless fluctuations. Your happiness comes from the strength of your internal experience of intention. You become one of those fortunate human beings who know who they are, and really who you are is what your greatest intention is, more than anything. You become one of those fortunate beings who know who they are and independent of our culture's trends. Year of the Fire Horse is going to be wild. I do my own astrological and neurological analysis before the beginning of every year. I'll teach that virtual class January 2nd about practices for the Year of the Fire Horse. Year of the Fire Horse will be like a wild galloping horse on fire, and that's a horse you can't stop. Like with AI taking over world events, things in our lives, there will be a lot going on that we cannot change that will be just like that horse on fire. What will bring you back is the strength of your intention, saying this is important to me, this is not. This is where my attention will be, this is where my attention won't be. And that's the main practice for 2026 to find success for your wishes to come true this year, because like that galloping horse can take you for the ride, but that doesn't mean that that's the ride you want to go on. You want your life to move in the direction you want it to move toward. Not toward the fire horse galloping wildness, not towards your ancestors' patterns, to where your heart wants to go. Okay, to finish up Philip Moffat. When you know which direction you are moving, your happiness and peace are not dependent on how things are right now. Right intention is the heart's intention. So intention is really freedom. Knowing what your intention is, staying grounded in that intention, that's a form of freedom, because no matter what else is happening around you, you can always move toward that intention, and you'll feel settled and happy doing that. And finally, something from African-American theologian Howard Thurman. There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. Intention, self-compassion, that's freedom. We talk a lot in the Buddhist tradition of like freedom. The goal is freedom, but what is freedom? It can feel kind of unclear. Freedom is freedom from the inner critic. Freedom is self-compassion. Freedom is listening to your heart and knowing what your heart says and moving towards that. That's real freedom. So now that we've talked a little bit about this, I just want to give you 2 or 3 minutes to start jotting down wishes. And pretend like I gave you a magic wand. I'm like, here, this magic wand works. Really, every wish comes true. In the grand scheme of things, every single wish comes true. We just don't know in which lifetime it comes true, but it does come true. So here's your magic wand. Write down every wish that occurs to you. And we'll do it now, we'll do it again in an hour, but I just want to get your wheels going. Write 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I want you to get to 100. And for those of you who lost your writing implements in the snow and lost your paper in the walk to the snow, thank you to Alicia who got me through the snow this morning. We have paper, like where Piotr is, wave. Where Piotr is, we have paper and pens. Get a piece of paper, and there's kind of a collective energy when everyone does it. So do it to make it easier for others to do it. Even if you write down 3 wishes in the next 5 minutes, write a few down. Because the more of you do it, the easier it will be for all of you to do it. And the way to have energy, like these are related, the way to have energy is to have lots of wishes that are your wishes. Genuine wishes is energy.
When we write wishes, which form was it? Like a wheel or like present?
So yeah, we will discuss all of that. There's a whole methodology now. Now give me the raw material. Like, I want this house. I want this experience. I want to feel this. I want to be healthy. write down words, images, just as they come to you. Don't even think about form. Oh. Okay. 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 Okay, thank you. And I'm all about practice. Like, all this theory stuff is great. You need to have it clear in your head, but it's really all about practice and doing. It's about meditating. It's about writing. It's about putting it into action. Glad I see some of you with 10 wishes already. We're on fire. Fire horse. And if you're not sure what to write next, ask yourself, if anything were possible, what would make my heart sing? Because everything is absolutely possible. And keep writing till you get to 100. And raise your hand, do you feel that life energy flowing through you as you write wishes? Like, more life energy starts to flow through you. It's wonderful too. We'll talk about how this interacts with Buddhist non-attachment because Buddhist non-attachment and having a lot of wishes actually do go together. We'll talk about it at the end. Both are true. Detachment, non-attachment, and having 100 wishes. I'll give you one more minute to finish up, and then we are actually going to work with these in the second part. So we're going to write them in a particular way in the second part. So this is an exercise that builds. Okay, so this to be continued. You have until the evening of the 31st to keep writing these. The last meditation that we'll do at 11:30 on the 31st, we'll thank 2025 for everything good that it did for us, so we can part as friends with 2025, and we'll also kind of launch our intentions. So those things that your heart wants, they're all very, very, very important. When we think about what we want, we often focus on the things. Like, I want certain things, not necessarily how those things make us feel. When you want anything in the outer world, what you really want is the feeling it gives you. You don't want a romantic partner. What you want is the feeling of love and affection and playfulness and care and belonging. You want some of that, not really the romantic partner. You don't really want the car. You want the ability to have experience in certain places and how you feel on the car and that sense of speed. Again, the feeling you want will be different for every person. But what we're here for is to experience every emotion. And when you want a certain emotion, you want a certain thing in the outer world. So the most important thing about intentions and setting intentions, and this is how it's different from wishes, is the intention says, I want this to feel this. This is the feeling I want to have. Raise your hand if you've had this happen. You really wanted something, you worked towards it, you planned it, it came true, and you were like, oh, I don't feel like I want it to feel. I don't really want it. Raise your hand, let's do a common humanity check. So you can look around. We're not alone in this. Like, oh, I didn't think that I would feel that way. Or, well, I actually feel kind of down. Like, I got this prize, I got this salary raise, I got this award, I got to go to this place, but like, it's not what I want it to be. To prevent this from happening, when we, in the second part of our writing exercise, we're not only gonna write what we want, but how we want that thing to make us feel. Because then the universe looks at the first part, the how, and the second part, which is really the core of it, how you want to feel. And it's like, okay, well, if this one is hard for me to make come true, how do I get to the feeling? How can I give this person this feeling? So it's like you're giving the universe more options to help you access that feeling. And at the end of 2026, what you want is love in your heart, right? What you want is a feeling of lightness, freedom, health, joy. And there's a million ways that can happen. It's wonderful when your wishes come true. Sometimes like the smallest wishes coming true are the most rewarding. Like when you want something very small and very specific and somehow it comes into your life and you say, thank you, universe. It's an amazing feeling. So the specific things do matter, but the feelings matter even more. So we're gonna do a meditation to help you access really your absolute deepest wishes, your absolute deepest intentions. Your intention should stem from this one question. On the very last day of your life, how do you want to feel? When you look back on your life, on the very last day of your life, how do you want to feel? And really how you want to feel is like, wow, that was an amazing adventure. I got to do the things I wanted to do. I got to love and receive love. I got to create. On the last day of your life, you want to say, that was amazing. Thank you, universe. That was incredible. Okay, what's next? That's kind of the mind state. And that's like the kind of the biggest picture of setting intentions. And let's do a meditation for that. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. Place a hand on your heart and let the hand move up and down with the breath. Uncross your legs, put everything down. Let's set up the practice well. Put everything down, uncross your legs, really so you feel free in this practice. Let your spine be straight or as straight as you can be. You can lie flat down. That's an example of your spine being straight if everything else feels uncomfortable. Place one or both hands on the heart. Feel the gentle rising and falling of the heart. And ask yourself, heart, what do you want? My heart, you have all the answers. With your eyes closed, tune into the feelings of the heart. Ask yourself, heart, how do you want to feel? Relaxing into the feeling of your hand at the heart and the feelings at the heart now. And now imagine that you are you, but much older, over 100 years old. And imagine you've lived over 100 years of life with your hand still on your heart, if that feels comfortable. Ask yourself, what do you want to remember from your life? What feelings do you want to remember? What emotions? The answer won't come all at once, but just staying with the question, giving the question this space. What feelings do you want to look back on as you think about the last 100 years? What inner states do you want to have spent most of your life in? What comes up for you? And now set that as your intention, the feeling you want to look back on. Is it lightness or freedom or warmth or this unconditional positive regard and goodwill? Is it a feeling of being connected, loving, following your heart, doing work you believe in deeply? At the end of your life, you will remember the moments that gave your life meaning. Think about what you want those moments to be. Putting your hand down if that feels more comfortable. And now think back to however many years you already lived. What were the moments of real joy you experienced? Remembering, what were the moments of real joy, real connection, authenticity? Letting them flood over you and saying, thank you. What were moments when you knew that what you were doing, you were meant to do? When you really contributed to the world? What were those moments when you knew you were bringing good karma, not just to yourself, but to all your ancestors? When you were serving life itself? Moments when you gave from an open heart? Moments when you used your real talents for a higher cause? moments when you were truly kind. And ask yourself again, when I'm 110 years old, how do I want to remember my life? What feelings do I want my life to be filled with? What emotions, what actions, what inner state? What is the type of beauty that I want to create around me and in me? Honoring these great questions, like these secret rooms, secret doorways inside our heart that you can kind of tiptoe and look into. Honoring the question. And now, just as the last image to end the meditation with, see yourself fulfilled and happy and satisfied. See yourself enjoying having this body that's so sensual. See yourself for a split second enjoying and serving life. And now take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. Opening your ears to this space and listening for the sound of the bell. When you can no longer hear it, you can begin to open your eyes. Something from novelist George Eliot, it's never too late to be what you might have been. In the meditation, some images, some emotions might have come up. Add to your list. Take out your list and add just a few things. And in 1 minute, we'll move to point 3, the science of intentions. And we have 5 more to cover. How do you want to feel? Thank you, Pyotr. Also, can we just give a round of applause for the amazing tech organization at Menla? It's such a joy to teach here. Thank you, Pyotr. Thank you to those who set up the room. I've run events like this before myself, where I do all the organizing and all the teaching, and when someone else does all the organizing, it's such an incredible relief. Just the fact that the list appears right at the right moment on the screen is incredible. So adding on to your wishes. I teach a lot of lawyers and judges. I spent 3.5 years as a corporate lawyer, and I work with a lot of courts and a lot of law firms. And I tell the lawyers, an intention for your life, that's the brief, that's the legal brief. It's the states, the motions that you want to live your life in, and they understand. And the great thing about all of this work is that we are timeless. So it's never too late to set intentions. It's never too late to start. Infinity, eternity, that's what we're working with. So there's no time lost. There's never too late. There's only the state you are in right now, your intention right now, your decision right now. And the science actually very much supports what we're doing. The other great kind of source of wisdom is modern scientific research. And I studied neuroscience at Stanford Medical School. That was actually my introduction to meditation. I started meditating after learning all the science. And let's look at the neuroscience of all of this. Your brain has a very important filter, and I put this on the board, called the RAS, or the reticular activating system. It's something that's used every moment that you don't even realize it's used. And the RAS has one incredibly important job. It has to decide in real time what information is allowed to enter your conscious mind. Just imagine, right now, how much information is in front of you. All these other people, colors, sounds, me teaching, right? Sensory perceptions, the snow outside. There's so many bits of information all at once. And the RAS, it's like that net that's letting certain things in right now and mostly pushing stuff out. It's a subconscious process, the heart beats without you trying. The RAS works. The human brain can process 11 million bits of information every single second. That's how powerful the subconscious mind is. But our conscious mind is actually very limited. Our conscious mind processes 40 to 50 bits of information every second. Our unconscious mind processes 10 to 11. That's why connecting to the body is so important. The body always has more answers than the mind. So when we focus on the breath, when we connect to our body, we're connecting to the unconscious mind. The body has kind of all the unconscious processes. If your body tenses up around someone and you don't know why, that's all that unconscious information. Maybe you don't have that information in the 40 to 50 bits of information in your conscious mind, but your unconscious knows absolutely everything. That's why our intuition is the ultimate wisdom. The body, the intuition, has kind of full data. The conscious mind has very, very, very limited data. So what does this have to do with intentions? How does the RES decide what comes in and what goes out? There's really only 4 things. I'll put it up here. There's only 4 things that the RES always lets in. So things that pass through that filter first is the sound of your name being called. So if someone says your name, you'll pay attention. The second is anything that threatens your safety, because we are here to survive. Anything that threatens your safety, all information connected to that will right away go in through the RES. It kind of gets in through the gates. This is why it's so dangerous to be in abusive or destructive relationships. You never actually feel safe, and anything that person does, like the slight change of voice, the text message, their slight mood changing, it will go through your RES, it'll dominate your conscious mind. That information will always be kind of taking priority over other information. That's why people disconnect from themselves if they're with someone who threatens their emotional safety, let alone physical safety. So you don't want a disproportionate amount of your attention to ever go into your safety. So if you are in an environment where you live that feels unsafe, emotionally that feels unsafe, at work that feels unsafe, romantically that feels unsafe, if anything is threatening your safety, resolve that first. Let that be the first thing you resolve in 2026 or even before 2026 begins. I always like to say that because the science is very strong in supporting that. The third thing, this is kind of funny, the third thing that always goes through the RES is a sign of anyone being sexually or romantically interested in you, because this is about survival. So someone flirting with you, you will notice that. You could have a million other things on your mind, but any sexual signal, your mind will take priority. This is like all of social media is basic. Social media is 2 and 3. Like, you're not safe, the world is ending, please be afraid, and 3, like sexual signals, because they work. The fourth is really where the heart of this teaching is. Something that always goes through the RES, and this is where you have to treat the brain like a 4-year-old child. If you tell the brain, mind, this is important to me, this is my intention, anything connected to making that intention come true will go through your RES. So 4 is your intentions. Anything related to your intentions will make it into your conscious mind and will even be prioritized by your subconscious mind. So it's very important to tell the mind, this is what I want. This is what's important to me. We do this writing exercise as a writing exercise on purpose because you need to make it extremely clear. And then suddenly you start to see answers or ways to make it happen everywhere, because finally it goes from the unconscious to the conscious. So raise your hand if you've ever experienced this. You decide to buy a certain car and suddenly you see that model everywhere. You learn a certain word, you didn't know that word before, that word is everywhere. You are in love with a person, you see their name everywhere. Raise your hand if you've had that experience. And it's not that it wasn't there before, it's that now it's making its way through your reticular activating system. Before it was blocking them. So you want to invite that in. So if you tell your brain very specifically what your intention is, your brain will start to move to that intention on its own. And the brain is super powerful. So many processes that we don't even understand, and the brain can do it. So your subconscious mind will now start to solve the puzzle of how to get you to where you really want to be, even if it seems impossible to you. So for example, I'm doing a retreat in Italy for 4 days in April on self-compassion. And let's say you want to come, but you have a scheduling issue. You tell the brain, my intention for 2026 is to go on this self-compassion retreat in Italy. Your brain will start to figure out how to make this possible. Even without you thinking about it, your brain will start to see how you can move things around. Or you tell your brain, mind, I want to be happy, healthy, joyful, successful, fulfilled. I want my wishes to come true. These are my wishes in 2026. Your brain will work on that. Very often, we give our brain tasks that it can't actually fulfill and tell it to work on that, like the task of, please make this person like me. Let me control this other person's emotions. We often give the brain tasks it cannot even complete, that are just not within the realm of possibility. And your brain tries to make that happen, and it's helpless. It's not able to. But everything you tell your brain that's within the realm of possibility, it will work on, it will prioritize that, and that's why we write our intentions. That's why it's so important. So that's kind of the first block of the science of intentions. Another piece of the puzzle as to why we set intentions is the science of willpower, what motivates us. And we often don't think of willpower accurately. So one definition of willpower is the ability to do what really matters to you, even when it's difficult. And in that sense, willpower, it's a kind of self-kindness. It's an extension of self-kindness. It's doing what matters to you. Willpower gives you the strength to act as your highest self, as opposed to automatic impulses. And automatic impulses come very, very naturally. The higher self, that takes mindfulness, that takes awareness. So when your mind is not distracted, when you are fully aware, it's your higher goals that govern your choices. So why should you have a daily mindfulness practice? Because then your mind starts to be in the kind of state where your highest self, your higher goals can guide your choices. Mindfulness, like this very simple thing we started with, being with the breath, it seems like I must be wasting my time, like there's so many other better things to do. And yet when you're with your breath, you make your mind a finely tuned willpower machine. And even when you're not meditating, that mind is that finely tuned willpower machine, and you come from your higher self. So what many people don't know is that willpower is also very much physical. It's not just like grit, brute force, let me be mentally strong. Your willpower is high when your body has all the nutrients it needs. When your body has nutrients, the more you sleep, the higher your willpower. Kind of if you get a full night's sleep, your willpower is higher. If your body is strong and flexible, your willpower is higher. It's not just sheer mental force. So the way you take care of your body directly correlates to every wish coming true, because it's your ability to come from your higher self. So willpower is physical, not just intellectual. Willpower is at its highest when we practice mindfulness, and willpower comes out of self-compassion, not self-criticism. If you kind of bash yourself, say awful things to yourself, blame yourself, what you're actually lowering is your willpower. And willpower is highest when you're rested, especially in 2026, this year of the mad galloping fire horse, wild ride. You'll need to stay connected to yourself. Right now, while you're at Menla, book more time off, book more time in nature, book more time at Menla or in any other place where you can feel connected to yourself and in nature. So again, willpower is the ability to do what matters to you. And we think of just one big willpower, but it's really three different processes. There's three kinds of willpower. I won't power, I will power, and I want power. They look different in the brain. I won't power, it's kind of this right side of the prefrontal cortex. This lights up when you use it. It's, you see that extra dessert, you reach out for it, but you're like, oh no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to eat so much sugar. This fires. Or you want to check social media while you're listening to this talk, but you're like, no, but I really should listen to this talk. I won't power. The most important thing to know about I won't power is that it's the weakest of all. It's much harder to decide not to do something than, for example, to do something. And that brings us to I will power. So I will power happens on this kind of left side of our prefrontal cortex, that fires, and it's I will go exercise. I will meditate today. It's stronger. So a life hack, instead of telling yourself I won't do something, don't think about not doing something, think about what you do instead. Let's say it's midnight, you crave chocolate, you want to eat the entire jar of chocolate that you have standing on the kitchen counter. You don't say I'm not going to eat that chocolate, you say I'm going to go take a warm bath with Epsom salts right now. It's like with a child. Like if my 4-year-old sees a beautiful vase and wants to hold that beautiful crystal fragile vase at someone else's house, I'm not going to say, no, 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 we're not going to touch that vase. I'm going to say, look at those birds. Let's count how many birds there are outside on that beautiful tree. We have to count those red birds. The attention is switched. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying we will do something else. Our brains haven't grown that much in some sense from that 4-year-old state. Do the same thing for yourself when you're trying to not do something for your willpower so that you can stay aligned to your intentions. So say yes to something, don't say no to something. And then the final I want power, it's in the middle of the prefrontal cortex. It actually engages the power of the other two. It bridges the two together. It keeps track of your most important long-term goals and where you want to focus your energy. And I want power is strong if you really, really want it. That's why we write down wishes. That's why we write down intentions. If you connect to what you truly want, I want power is easy and your willpower is very strong. So think about what you truly want. Like, I want to pass down ancestors' practices to my great-grandkids. I want to be doing ancestors' practices with my great-grandkids in however many years. That's my I want power. And within that I want power comes exercise like Qigong. It comes a healthy diet, comes my meditation practice, comes my sleep, because I know that at the end of my life, I want to be doing those practices with the new generation. Think about what your biggest I want power is. The more rapidly the cells in the middle prefrontal cortex fire, the more motivated you are to stay with your intentions and your long-term goals. So I don't want to eat junk food is not I want power, but that thing that you want to do in your 90s. Like, I have a to-read list of 500 books that I want to get through. And if I do the math, I have to live a lot of years to read all those books. And that's also my I want power. Like, I want to, like fiction, nonfiction, wisdom books, spirituality books, I want to get the chance to read them in this lifetime. That's part of my I want power. It will be different for you, but I just want to give you ideas. So because we're talking about this, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. Write down your hugest, biggest I wants. That will organize all the I won'ts and the I will. So again, there's paper right where Pyjov is, where the cameras are. If you don't have paper and pen, Pyjov is pointing at them, take some. Write down as many of the biggest I wants as you possibly can, because that is your power. I'll give you 2 minutes. What do you really, really want? Write down the I wants that come to your core. And 1 more minute. And these things will come to you. Like, you don't even need a lot of time to write them. Like, they'll be specific, they'll come to you. Those are the wishes that won't leave you alone. Like, they come back to your life again and again. They come to your mind again and again. You don't even have to look that deep for those, the biggest I wants. Those are the whimpers of your biggest I wants not happening. So to sum up the science of willpower and intentions, once you tell your brain something is very important to you and you want to make it happen, you recruit your RAS to pay attention to it, to help make it happen, and then you also recruit your I want power to make all the little willpower decisions very easy. Okay, so let's move into how to write intentions. This is a really, really fun part. First, let's get very clear in our mind what are intentions, what are wishes, what are goals, what are resolutions. Raise your hand if you broke your 2025 resolution. No one. You didn't have any. Oh, we're with an enlightened group. Yeah, usually I teach and like everyone has broken their resolutions in places that I often teach. So let's just get very clear on what's what. A wish is when you have a very strong desire for something. Wishes are extremely important information. They're like the raw core material. So listen to yourself, you understand what your wishes are. Your intentions start with your wishes. An intention is a wish kind of in a bigger spiritual sense. An intention is more far-reaching than a wish. A wish is like something you want in the material world. An intention has something to, it has to do with the feeling, the inner state, how it's good for the world. It bridges the inner and the outer, and it bridges what benefits you to what benefits all beings. So an intention is like is far-reaching. The wish is like the seed of the intention. A resolution is a statement of what you'll do or what you won't do, just like a statement of what you'll change. A goal is a statement of what you want to achieve and the steps you need to achieve it. So an intention is more kind of bridging what's good for all beings and what you want from within and what you want to experience. As you work on your lists, I just want to give you, let's do 5. Let's do 5 categories to set intentions in. And you can look at your list and see if some of these aren't present. We have intention for health, how you feel physically. Your level of energy, your level of health, your wellness, your well-being physically. We can have wishes for creative projects, work, career, opportunities, the talents you want to share. That's 2. 3, friendship, love, relationships, how you want to connect with others. And 4, and these are also good for the entire universe, 4, the trips you want to take, the retreats you want to go on, travel, fun, experiences. Like, I want to see this wild animal in Africa. That's a really good wish. That will have a whole intention around it. And then 5, very important, how you want to grow. Anything having to do with purpose, spirituality, meaning, growth, how you want to change, how you want to grow into the version of yourself you want to be. So as we first start writing down wishes, they often start to come from the ego. It's just, I don't want to feel worse than these people around me. I don't want to feel worse than my tribe. So because other people have it, let me have this. It doesn't mean you really want it. But that'll often go on your paper first. Or like, my parents absolutely expected me to do this. So let me just put this on the list so I get this out of the way. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Like, let me just get this wish. Like, let me just make this happen. Thank you for your hands. Let me just get this wish out of the way. I definitely have spent a lot of energy trying to make things come true just because parents, grandparents wanted it. I still have my grandmother from snowy Moscow calling me when the WhatsApp works, because it hasn't been that great lately, but calling me being like, Elizabeth, well, just tell me, this year, are you finally going to get your law firm job back again? Like, are you finally going to start working as a lawyer? Are you finally going to have a serious job again? Please tell me it's true. We're all praying for you. And there are going to be a lot of things other people want for you. Your partner, your kids, there's a lot of directions other people will want you to go, often out of best wishes for you, but it doesn't mean that's what you want to do. So we're going to run your wishes through two tests. Look at the wish list, and then take a big red pen and cross out everything that you feel like you should do. If it has an I should, or it's there to make someone else happy, if you read the list and someone else will be much happier than you if it came true, right now cross it out. I'll give you a moment. That is not your intention. That is someone else's wish for you. If someone else is happier than you if it comes true, you can be as happy, you can be equally happy, but if someone is more than happy than you, then it's their wish. Or if you have this sense like, I just want to get this over with and I just want to check that box, not your wish. No bucket lists, just genuine wishes. So anything that's someone else's expectation, or anything you want just because everyone else has it, permanent marker, red permanent marker, delete it from your list. So if you imagine it happening and you're like, okay, finally I got that done, now I can move forward with my life now that that's done, that's not your wish. Second, check to make sure your intentions are truly your own. And before I say this, let me go over why your intentions need to be your own. We all have a certain path of the soul. We all have a certain life path. You're here to experience certain things, to learn certain lessons, to share certain talents. If you follow intentions that are not your own, you're not actually following that path. When people ask me, Elizabeth, like, there's no roadmap, what's my path? Often when you follow your own path, you have lots of energy. We'll talk about this. If you're following your path, you have lots of energy. If you're following someone else's path or the path someone else has for you, one, you won't have energy. Two, you won't be able to follow their path successfully. The whole universe conspires for them to follow their path, but it does not conspire for you to follow their path. The whole universe conspires for you to follow your path. So if you start with a list of like all the things that someone else wants for you, those wishes are not going to come true because you won't actually have the energy for them. You won't have the enthusiasm for them. The I want power won't actually be activated. The wishes you don't actually want won't come true, but your own won't either because you're not wishing for them. So it's like it's a double bind. It's a lose-lose. So all your wishes, the most important thing about intentions is that they're truly your own. And when they're truly your own, your body has a certain reaction to them physically. So we're going to do another check to like get rid of some wishes. If you read those wishes and you feel constriction in your chest, you feel anxiety, you feel a kind of closing down, that's not your wish. If you read through the list and you feel expansion, energy, lightness, that is your wish. If you read the wish and you feel mad adrenaline, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like in those like 90s romantic comedies when like a girl would get a call from a guy and she starts like, Cameron Diaz starts jumping up and down, like if that's how you feel, that's not actually your wish. It means either it's not your wish or you're not ready for it. The universe does not want to overwhelm you. So if you feel mad excitement, mad adrenaline, that's not a wish you are ready for right now this year, maybe later. If you feel very, very strong emotions, whether it's strong fear or very strong excitement, like I'm just going to die, I can't handle this, not your wish right now. If you feel calm, settled, grounded, more yourself, that's your wish. So I'm going to give you a minute, look over your list, and cross out anything that you either feel you feel in your chest constriction. You might even like close your eyes, put your hands on your heart. This is where the body awareness is so useful to be able to read the emotions of the body. You don't want to check. You don't want to tune into the 40 to 50 bits of information of your conscious mind. You want to tap into the 11 million bits of information of your subconscious mind. Your chest will tell you. Your physical sensations will tell you those 11 million bits of information. So draw from the biggest data set, which is your body. Not AI, your body.
So what about like this like doubt, you know? You're like, can I do it or not? Is it
If you feel settled when you look at it, it's yours. If you feel anxiety and nervousness, but it's more like, is it expanding you, is it constricting you? Because you can feel a little bit of nervousness and it's still expanding you. And I'll leave a lot of time for questions at the end because I know you will have a lot of questions. So just do a check and notice, like, am I getting bigger? Am I getting more spacious? Am I getting smaller? Am I getting less spacious? Because we want to only leave the intentions that are truly yours. Go ahead.
Can I ask now or should I?
Yeah, let's wait until the end because I want to make sure we cover certain things, but I will leave 20 minutes for questions, maybe even 25 minutes for questions on ancestors or intention or energy. So cross out everything that's either I have to or that you feel like constricts you. Are you ready for the next step? So, who wants another minute? Okay, I'll give you 30 more seconds. We'll compromise. So again, what the process is, you write down just the raw material, the core wishes. You cross out all the ones that are I shoulds, because I should is often a cognitive error. You cross out the ones that are other people's expectations. You cross out the ones you just want to get over with, and you cross out anything that constricts you. And now we're going to ask the most important questions. What are wishes really about? They're about what kind of state do I want to live in? What kind of state do I want to carry into the world? What kind of emotions, feelings do I want to experience? What are the feelings, emotions I want life to give me? So we are going to do this right now. Take your biggest wish, write it down, and I'll get questions at the end. Take your biggest wish and then write down, what does this help me feel? Not, I want to move into this house, but I feel calm, grounded. I feel like I'm living in beauty. What do you feel when you're living in that beach house? So the what, the wish, and then how does it make you feel? Add that to one or two wishes. Is it lightness? Is it peace? Is it immense joy that you want to share? Is it stability? Is it calm? Is it love in your heart? Is it gratitude? What do you feel as a result? So the real intention is actually how you feel. It's not the thing itself. We focus on the thing itself. It's not material. It's how you feel. Do you feel free inside? Do you feel strong? Do you have access to your fearlessness? A lot of people in my year-long journey program have been emailing me their wishes, and the wish I see over and over again is, I want a new relationship this year. Like, I want a beautiful new relationship. And the feeling there is, I want to give and receive love. I'm ready to give and receive. I'm ready to appreciate. I'm ready to interact with a universe that's different than mine. I want a certain feeling. So the heart of the intention is how you feel. If you want more love in your life right now, fill your heart with that feeling right now. So the quickest way to make the material first wish come true is to go right to the feeling of it. How can you have love, warmth, gentleness, connection in your heart right now? And then the first thing happens because it fits the second thing. You can also just start with the feeling and the first thing happens more quickly. Or you want a work project where you have to be very daring, or that requires a lot of your courage. How can you access that feeling of being strong, unflappable first? If you find the feeling inside yourself, your outer reality will match, so that you need to use that feeling so that it'll match the state. The outer reality matches the state. So everything shifts to match your inner state. We really create our world from within. When you change your inner world, everything on the outside changes. It feels like magic, but it's really not, because it's, again, like microcosm, macrocosm. Your life reflects how you are inside, always. And now we come to the third step of intentions. And so we have the wish, we have how it makes you feel. The third part of your intention, every intention is 3 sentences. The wish, how it makes you feel. And the third sentence is, how will it help the world if I achieve this? How will it be a positive contribution to all beings, to the entire world, if this happens? So let's do the house on the beach example. On that house on the beach, will I write beautiful songs? Will I create beautiful paintings? Will I have heartwarming weekend gatherings for the people I'm closest to and cook meals there for my family and friends? How will that house benefit others? Or will I just be so peaceful and in such a good mood that I'll share that good mood with everyone I meet? Me getting that intention, how does it help the whole world?
What if you want to just have parties?
Well, parties are great. What is a party? A party is a great party. It's connection. It's community. It's sharing. It's sharing food. It's sharing love. It's not just a party. So think bigger. So every receiving is a giving. Every giving is a receiving. And we want to make it very easy for the world. The compassionate universe wants there to be more compassion in the world. When you're compassionate, you are on the same vibration as the universe itself. This is Mahayana Buddhism 101. Make it very clear to the universe why it's good for the universe for this to come true. And the other thing this does is, raise your hand if you feel this. You're like, people are suffering. I feel guilty if good things happen to me. Blocks to receiving. So what this helps you process are your own blocks to receiving. Focus on how will it be good for the whole world if this thing comes true. And really, anything that's really good for one other person is good for the whole world. If one person feels more joy, all their neighbors will feel more joy. We share our inner states. So how you feel around the person, you know how around certain people, You feel grounded, you feel calm, you feel centered. Around certain people, you feel naturally joyful, light. Around certain people, you feel like you just want to like get under the covers and never get out of the covers again and feel extremely anxious. How you feel around the person is their inner state. Anything that makes your inner state better makes the whole world better. So the difference between a shopping list or a wish list and an intention is how you feel and how it makes the whole universe better. So jot that down. And I actually, I have a whole checklist. I have a whole checklist of like, this is what you should check your intentions against. And I think the quickest way for me to get that to you is rather than me like try to read your handwriting and like try to keep track of your handwriting, which I don't think everything always makes it, just get out your phones and write the word checklist to my first name dot my last name at gmail.com. And if I'm just saying this now because I'll forget, and I'll send you the checklist for like these are all the things you check your intentions again. It's Elizabeth, my first name dot pyjov, my last name at gmail.com, and just put subject checklist, and I'll email it back to you later today. Elizabeth.pyjov. Another very important thing for the way you write intentions, because again, this is a methodology, and it's a methodology that works. You set your intention in the right way. In a year, you'll look at them, you'll think, wow, like 70% came true, and I can't even believe I wished for this a year ago. I've had that experience with very specific things. I remember writing in my intentions, I want to be at a Billy Joel concert in Madison Square Garden with a person I'm in love with who's in love with me, and like this is how this will benefit the world, and this is how I feel. And I remember I had that experience. I wasn't in a relationship when I wrote that, not even nearly. And then I remember a year later opening, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was my intention. Like that exact same thing happened, and I actually got the tickets for free. And like it happened like completely on its own without me even like thinking about it again. Or I remember reading my intentions a year later that said, I want all new furniture in my house around me. This is how this will make me feel, this is how it's good for the world, and just like looking around me, like all my furniture is new. But it happened like because I moved, a lot of other things happened to cause the furniture. It's not that I went shopping for furniture, like it made sense in just like how things flowed. So think of it as like a skeleton. As you set your intention, it's like the skeleton that the body is around. You set the structure, you set the rails, and things flow that way. Another very important thing that will be on this checklist. Every word in your intentions needs to be a positive word. If you have things like, I don't want to be sick this year, you'll be sick this year. The universe does not understand not, it just understands words. It can't be, I'm out of debt. It has to be like the positive. I'll tell you a parable. Since this is the year of the horse, I'll tell you the parable of the horseman. There's this parable of like a man returning from work thousands of years ago on his horse, and this man says, oh no, life is pitiful, life is pathetic, my horse is old and slow, the weather is bad, it's another storm, my wife must be waiting for me and she's angry because I'm late and it's way too cold, and they pay me too little at work. So he's on his horse saying all these things. And there's an angel flying behind his back, his guardian angel, and his guardian angel is listening to what he's saying and he's taking notes. So he's writing down all the words and he keeps thinking, of course, that's what he wants. If he wants pitiful and pathetic and old and slow and angry, he's like, my tastes are very different from this man's tastes. But whatever this man wants, sure, I'll give it to him. But I just don't understand. Why does he want to receive so many negative things? And then the guardian angel flies away and makes those things come true. We create our reality with our words, but with the actual words, not the words around them. So every word in your intention needs to be the positive word that you want to create. This goes further. Every word you speak needs to be the positive reality you want to create. Every word you think also needs to be the positive reality you want to create. Every thought changes our life. That's why we meditate. We meditate to change our thoughts. Every word changes our life. Everything we write down as intentions very much changes our life. like I read at the beginning, like first there was the word. Life is a very artistic process that we create partially with our words. So think of like life as your masterpiece. You're the artist, and you create it with the words you speak, with the thoughts you think, with the intentions you set. You create this beautiful masterpiece. You say the word, and the compassionate universe gives the word form. And really, the compassionate universe only does two things. It makes your wishes come true based on your intentions and words, and it gives you challenges so you can grow. If a wish isn't coming true, all that means is that you either need to cultivate more energy, and we'll talk about that next, or you need more growth so that it can come true. Like the universe is endlessly compassionate and endlessly on your side. So that's the methodology. That's the big picture methodology of intentions. And every intention coming true, then express gratitude. Say, thank you, universe. And now that you have those intentions written out, you'll know when they come true. And you say, thank you so much, universe. Let me do something else kind for people. Let me serve anew because you're showing so much friendship to me. Universe, let me show just as much friendship to you. So it's this big flow of receiving and giving. And you, again, once you start writing these down, you'll be amazed by just how many come true. I'll give you one last check to do with your intention. The compassionate universe thinks in images, not in complicated words. If what you write down is like, the kind of relationship I want, it has a balance of freedom and surrender, it's harmonious with mutual understanding and commitment, where we both feel freedom and independence, the universe will be like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I do not understand what you want. Like, I am not going to make this come true because like I cannot give you what you want. This is really, really complicated and very, very nuanced. If you write down, I want to be with a person where I see them and I feel sunshine inside. I see them and I feel warmth. Like, here you go. It's very clear. So write down your intentions as if a 4-year-old were reading them. That clarity, where like a 4-year-old would know exactly what you mean. And then that image needs to be very clear. It needs to be on the level of the image. And then you're very close to it coming true. Go ahead.
Let's say if you were to write an intention, let's say you want to travel, right? How would you say that is going to help the world, other than you paying the tour guides?
What do you feel when you travel?
Well, I have fun.
Okay. I have more fun and people around me have more fun. I bring joy. But really travel, it's discovery, it's...
Yeah, exactly, experiences.
So I challenge you to think more deeply about how that would contribute to the world. But every single positive emotion and every single bit of growth for you contributes to the world, both with how you feel and how others feel. So now just take a moment, cross out all the complicated words, cross out all the things that are abstract, cross out all the things that are not concrete. Like, this year, 2026, I'm going to be lucky and visionary. Cross that out, because that's very, very unclear. The threshold between the wish coming true and not coming true needs to be super, super, super clear and very, very, very specific. The psychology behind it is this, like it all goes down to mind science. The more you subconsciously resist the intention, the more indirect, roundabout, and unclear your language will be. Writing it down clearly is actually the process to being able to accept it. And now I'm going to give you the final step once you're done writing these intentions. The final step is have them written out beautifully, like write them down on pen and paper beautifully, put them in a box. Don't look at them until mid-December 2026. And then at that point, you'll see some intentions are no longer relevant. Like they're not relevant because you don't really want that anymore. Some of them came true. And you'll have so much gratitude, and some of them will go on your intentions list for next year. If they didn't come true, they still are relevant. So writing your intentions next year will be a much quicker process than this year. But every single year you'll do it, save them, and when you look at that list, what you'll really want to write is a gratitude list love letter to 2026, because you'll see that so many came true. So again, two parts to making our wishes come true, intention and energy. And Pyotr will help me move the board, because this talk won't be complete if we don't spend at least 20 minutes talking about what gives us energy and what takes energy away. And again, I need to say, of course, sleep, diet, like what you eat, movement, all of that gives you energy. But there's a lot of other ways we lose energy and a lot of other ways we gain energy. And I want to spend about 20 minutes on energy and then 20 minutes on Q&A. because you can have all the right intentions, but if you have no energy, thank you so much. If you have great intentions but no energy, they won't come true. If you have a lot of energy, the intention, it'll come true in a month. It comes true very quickly if you have the right level of energy behind it. So we're always cultivating energy. Every meditation practice gives you more energy. Awesome. So 10 ways we lose energy, 10 ways we get energy. This is not complete. I do teach like the complete how to have energy. This is like a 20-minute snapshot. So these are just like bullet points, things to keep in mind, because you want to keep your level of energy very high. We lose energy from discordant noise, something we don't think about. If there's construction next to your apartment building, you're going to lose energy. Try to spend time, thank you, try to spend time elsewhere. We get energy through gratitude. We always get, every time you're grateful, you have more energy coming to you. A practice, an energy practice I want to give you for 2026, at the end of each day, write down 10 people you're grateful to and what they did specifically. Like, I'm grateful to Tim for giving me a hug yesterday. I'm grateful for Alicia for walking me through the snow. I'm grateful for Pyotr for turning this board around. I'm grateful for Paul for the great Qigong class yesterday, right? Like, write down very specifically what they did. And then write down like the things that make you happy, 10 things that you're grateful to, which were the absolute highlights of the day. Seeing the snow, that amazing meal. And then you write down gratitude to who cooked it. I'm reading Krishna Das's book right now. I'm grateful he wrote that book. So at the end of each day, for more energy, write down everyone you're grateful to and 10 things you're grateful for, 2 separate lists. We lose energy through chaotic, disorganized spaces and unnecessary things. Every single object you own takes a little bit of energy. You might notice people with a lot of properties, a lot of things, they often are trying to get more energy. Everything you own physically takes some energy away. There's like a tax you pay on it that's not even the property tax. It's an energy tax. So it takes a little bit of energy to sustain every piece of clothing, every property, everything. Get rid of the things you don't need. Gift them, donate them, sell them. And organize things. Anything chaotic, disorganized is an energy vampire. 3, this is why we did compassion to ancestors yesterday. Judgment takes a lot of energy. Judgment of yourself takes the most energy. Judgment of parents, ancestors takes the second most energy. And then judgment of everyone else takes the third most energy. Anytime you judge, you're losing energy. You're losing your most valuable. You're losing the construction materials of your wishes coming true. Every time you judge, it's not worth it. 4, gossip or speech. Really, speech in general, you lose energy. But if that speech reduces suffering, you don't lose energy. If that speech has a kind intention, you don't lose energy. When the Buddha reached enlightenment, the legend goes that after he reached enlightenment, he only spoke in 2 situations: to give a teaching or to say thank you. And that's the only way he used speech, because he needed a very high level of energy for his spiritual growth. So gossip and negative speech is how we lose megatons of energy. I have a class on wise, beautiful speech, and everyone who comes to the end of it has a lot of energy. If you don't speak for a day, if you take a day of rest, not speaking, you'll notice how much energy you have. Worries and doubts drain a lot of energy. That's also why you have your clear intention, you do your practice, and then you don't worry. You don't worry about what will happen. You just know, I did what I could, and I'm not going to worry about the rest. In our world, we get stimulated by like what happened halfway around the world. We have all the information to worry about from the entire world. This was never true. We'd have local problems to worry about, not like everywhere in the world all at once. This year especially, as you get information of like what's wrong where, ask what can I do, let me do it, and then I'm not going to worry about it. Otherwise, you just won't have energy for your wishes. Bad air quality takes away energy. Being in a place like Menla, great air gives you energy. Not knowing what your wishes are, that is an energy drainer. Or having someone else's wishes that aren't your own, energy drainer. Also, too many goals at once, too many to-dos at once, too many things you're trying to accomplish at once take away your energy. 9, everything you start but you don't finish takes away a lot of energy. And 10, this one is very important. Lies or dishonesty take a lot of energy. You can lie, like there's no lying police where like if you say a lie, something will happen. There is a lie police in the sense that every time you're dishonest, you lose a lot of energy. Just like every property, like there's an energy task. Not that I'm saying don't have things, just like have the things you actually want. Don't have like extra things you don't want. Every lie takes your energy. Anytime you're not authentic, that takes your energy. Every time you write down a wish that's not actually your own and strive for it, that takes just disproportionate amounts of energy. Following your wishes, you're like in an energy flow. You get energy. Following wishes that are not your own, there's an energy tax. So lies, dishonesty. I have a practice called no white lies. Try organizing your life so you never have to tell a white lie. That might mean changing the people you spend time with. That might mean changing your life at the core. But things like secret affairs, like all of that, no lies, no white lies. Say the truth, but in gentle speech. The art of speech is saying the truth gently, beautifully, in beautiful words, and kind, beautiful words, saying the truth. And a bonus reason how we lose energy, if your bar of perfection is too high. So if your bar of perfection is really, really, really high, and I myself am like a recovering perfectionist, we have a joke in Happiness Sangha that we're all aspiring underachievers. We're all overachievers that are aspiring underachievers. If your bar of perfection is really high, like with your conscious mind, that bar of perfection is high. The conscious mind like can't let that, there's like ego there, you can't let it lower. But then you have your subconscious mind that's like, this is impossible. I cannot help you. Like, there's nothing I can do to reach that bar of perfection. But the conscious mind needs to hold on to it. So what happens is the subconscious mind organizes that you'd be very, very tired or half sick so that you don't have to reach this bar of perfection because you're like, well, now I'm too tired. Like, now I can't, I'm sick. Now I'm too tired, now I'm sick. And then you hold on to that bar, but you just can't do it right now, and you're always tired or half sick. Raise your hand if you've experienced that. I've experienced that. So then you have to say, wait, I don't need to reach this, I can do this. Like, this is what really matters to me. When you know what really matters to you, your bar of perfection is usually not unachievably high. It's like, these are the things I want to do, there's a flow. So that's how we lose energy. How we get energy. The first is safety. More than anything, inner safety. We get energy through inner safety. Inner safety is, what's inner safety? Self-compassion. Inner safety is real self-compassion. So safety, stability, there's no stability on this earth in the sense of what's on the outside. Like, people in your life can come and go. The physical world changes. Money can flow in and out. Your body changes. Everything on the outside changes. The only thing that doesn't change is how kind you will be to yourself across all of these things happening. How incredibly kind, how much on your own side you'll be, how committed you'll be to your intentions. That can be constant. So the only real safety is self-compassion. Physical, emotional safety is just the prerequisite for energy. So this flows into not being in an abusive relationship with yourself. There's an African proverb that when there is no enemy within, the enemies outside can't hurt you. Not having any enemy within, self-kindness. That is the biggest source of energy. 3, meditation. Every time you meditate, you get more energy. How this works. This is a teaching from an ancient Chinese text called Inward Training, 8th century BC. How this works is that where your attention is, that's where your energy goes. More often than not, our attention is on things on the outside. Our attention goes there. When you meditate, breath focus, intentions, self-compassion. When you meditate, your attention is like right here. It's right here. Your energy goes here. So instead of bringing that energy outwards, you bring it here, to your body, to your heart, and you have more energy. Very, very simple mechanism. So meditation. How we get energy, this is a huge one. Being in nature. So we're all on the right track for an energetic 2026. Being in nature, the kind of nature that resonates with you. So being in nature, but if you love the desert, don't spend all your time in a forest. If you love rivers and lakes, don't spend all your time on the ocean and vice versa. Think about the landscape that makes your heart sing. Think about the landscape you feel relaxed in. For me, like, I love forests, I love lakes, so I also love beach, but think about like what most resonates with you, and I'll just like jot that down, because part of your intention should be to spend time in places like that. Also, ego takes away energy. What takes away energy? Ego. What gives us energy? No ego. Nature has no ego. So when you're in the vibrations of nature, you're in the vibrations of something with no ego. You have less ego. You have more energy. What gives us energy? Anything you do with love. You can do the smallest things with love. Anything you do with love gives you energy. You can pet your cat with love. You can put on your clothes and brush your teeth in the morning with love, with self-compassion. Anything you do with love, your energy resource grows. Anything you do without love, you lose energy. So choose the things you can do with love, delegate the rest, or try not to do the rest. Another thing that gives us energy is taking full responsibility. So when you're very, very committed to something, you get energy. Also why we write our intentions. Like, how is it possible for a ballerina to jump like 3 feet off the ground? How is it possible for a surgeon to be doing a surgery for 24 hours and to be focused? It's almost superhuman. But when you take full responsibility for something, you get every resource for it. When you have a child, you take responsibility, you get a huge energetic resource. Anything you become fully committed to, you take responsibility for. The universe is like, here you go, here's a new package of new energy so you can achieve it. When you write down your intentions, you get new energy to make them come true. When you're accountable, responsible, committed, you get the energy to do it. Just like a very practical one, a straight spine. Like we have yoga, qigong here. Pilates help with a straight spine. Everything that helps with a straight spine, energy flows up and down your body. You want a flexible, strong body with a straight spine so that you can like physically hold that energy. Things that are clean, things that are honest, things that are transparent, like physically clean, but also like energetically clean. Anything clean gives you energy. 9, I love. If you look at what's been valued over the years, across centuries, across continents, the things that are valued are usually things that give us energy. Beauty gives us energy. Beauty is an enormous energy resource. So if you have more beauty in your life, beautiful words, aesthetically beautiful, beautiful music, beautiful nature, the more beauty, the more energy. So beautiful things have been valued throughout time everywhere. Since like paintings on the caveman's walls, beauty is valued. Beauty is an energy resource, not just like, oh, it's nice, it's beautiful. Beauty is not a superficial thing. It's energetically rich. So you might think like, oh, like I have bigger goals. I have better things to do than like set the table beautifully for dinner. Or, oh, I have better things to do but to like wear clothes that I find beautiful. Or I have better things to do than spend a day in the mountains. You don't because your wish is coming true is intentions plus energy, and beauty is energy. That other things are not more important. Energy is important, and that means beauty is very, very, very important. And finally, growth. Growth is energy. Newness, learning something new, doing a new practice, trying a new way of thinking, reading a book about a new philosophy. Newness, growth, change. There is most energy in the air at gateways, transition points. Like when the leaves start changing in the fall, there's energy. When like the snow starts melting, there's energy. Discover new places. Like every year I try to go to one new country, read new books, try new meditation practices, try new physical practices, meet new people. Not to the extent where like it becomes a bucket list and like you're chasing after it, like the mad fire horse, which is going to take over very soon. That is just like running. But make sure that there's growth and there's change and that you are growing every single day. Make sure there's growth in some way every single day because that creates energy. So I just want to say that in our time, energy is very, very sparse. I teach this a lot. I'm very committed to teaching how to have energy because in our time, people can have money, people can have like opportunities, interesting friends. Very few successful people in our time actually have energy. And without energy, your life isn't actually moving forward in the direction that you want. And yet, energy is everywhere. Energy is all around you. It's just a matter of knowing how to tap into it. It's just a matter of knowing how to access it. But when you start looking at like this, There's energy in every piece of gratitude, every kind word, every beautiful thing, every night of rest, every meditation, every movement. And structure your life like this. Like, let me get energy here, let me get some energy there. Not like in the vampiric sense, but in the sense of let me connect to life with love. And if there is someone in your life taking a lot of your energy, even if it's your relative, even if, create boundaries, create distance. Send them flowers instead of seeing them in person if you really need to like pay your respects. Create distance between people that take your energy. So we're going to do one last meditation. I'll give you practices to continue, and we'll do 20 minutes of Q&A. Let's meditate for energy, and let's meditate to tap into all the energy you already have. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Place your hands on the heart. And just notice how much energy is there right now in your face. Energy running through your face, through your cheeks, around your mouth. Notice there's energy there. It's been there all along. Feel the energy in your chest, in your beating heart. Energy in motion. Energy to make every wish come true. Feel the warmth pulsating behind your hand. Energy in your hands ready to create, ready to touch, ready to spring to action. Feel the energy in your arms. Feel the energy in your belly. Placing your hands down if that feels better, and feel the energy running up and down your spine. Feel the tremendous energy in your legs. Feel the energy in your feet. Feel the resource of energy that's already there running up and down your body. You just need to notice it. And as you bring your attention to it, notice that there's even more energy. And now feel that there is intention. Feel that there is an intention in you. And feel that there is energy in your intention. Feel that there is energy in your core wishes. Feel that there is energy in every emotion. Feel that there is energy in your honesty. And know that you have enough energy to do everything you want to do. You have enough energy for everything you love. You have enough energy for every wish coming true. And now take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. Listening to the sound of the bell, the beautiful sound that carries energy. And when you can no longer hear it, opening your eyes. Opening your eyes, coming back. So much energy, right? So much energy. And here, so much energy. So now I'm going to give you homework. Your homework before the 31st is to write a love letter to 2025. So again, you can part as friends. All the things you're grateful to for 2025. That will actually pave the way to your intentions coming true in 2026. The more gratitude, the more new amazing things you get. Gratitude clears space. So maybe there were 3 things, maybe there were 10 things, maybe there were 50 things. Every moment, every new friendship, every discovery, every learning process. If there was a challenge, but that challenge helped you understand your values, write that down in your gratitude letter. So write down a love letter to 2025, keep it, because in 10 years, you'll have 10 love letters to 10 different years. All these practices, they're annual. They're kind of rhythmic practices to do with the seasons. So write that letter, and then also write down your intentions for 2026. So again, intentions for how you feel physically, intentions for your work projects, intentions for friendships, intentions for love, intentions for experiences, intentions for inner growth. Write that down, but in this way of wish, feeling, how it benefits the whole world. set it aside for a year, so that in a year you can be pleasantly surprised. So that's your homework I'll be here to answer questions about it. We'll do a Q&A. And if in 2026 you want to keep in touch and you want to keep growing in this way, kind of cyclically with the seasons, I run Happiness Sangha, which is a virtual meditation center. I also have events at Menla as part of that meditation center. And I tried to get all your emails and numbers yesterday, but I couldn't read a lot of your handwriting, so I think a lot of you didn't get it. So the way to keep in touch with me is I send an inspiring text every morning, and you'll also get information about programs. So just get your phones and send the word, just send the word Menla, so I know you're from here. Send the word Menla to this number, and I'll add you, and we'll keep in touch. There's two main things I offer. Oh, 650-922-4262. So I have a lot of free events. I have a free event every single month. I send a free text every single month. You can participate like that. I have an event in Italy on self-compassion, April 19th to 23rd. Raise your hand if you've been. Tim has been, Alicia has been. And there's a year-long program. If you really want to do everything for your happiness and to cultivate that beautiful garden in a year, I start a new cohort in January, and I work with you all year long, the entire year, for your happiness, and that includes ancestors, energy, other practices we haven't done. If you want to do a deeper program, that's also available to you. So that's how you can spend time with me if you want to keep meditating this year. The methodology is daily meditation, and all of you, not with me too, daily meditation is a must. Daily gratitude is a must. Daily sleep, diet, that is also a must. Daily growth is a must. And again, you read the garden, like no inner critic, remove all the unforgiveness, you cultivate energy. You make sure you have the soil by connecting to ancestors, and then you plant new seeds like compassion, self-compassion. You plant new beautiful seeds. So that is what I mostly want to offer you, and we have another 15 minutes for all kinds of Q&A. And how about someone who hasn't asked a question yet? Let's do all the people who haven't asked a question yet, yes, and then we'll do everyone else. So intentions, ancestors, and energy, or anything else.
What if you have an intention for yourself that started off like, this is what I want for myself, I want to do this complete remodel, fixer-upper, but it turns into like a logistical nightmare where it's overwhelm and anxiety and it takes you to your knees.
So let's give you the mic and ask the specific question. Ask me a one-sentence question. So ask me a one-sentence short question, and I'll answer it. And also, I sympathize.
How do you take an intention that has gone wrong and don't know if it's the universe saying, well, maybe you need to build some strength for this challenge? I don't know how to word the question.
I understand.
You can help me.
Okay, I can help you. So this goes right to the methodology of writing intentions. For next year, right, this is what I want. This is how I want to feel. This is how it benefits the universe. Often the universe will disregard this, but it will make you feel the way you want to feel. So think about, why do I want to fix up this house? How do I want to feel? And it's like an insurance policy. Like when you have the thing and then you have how you want to feel, it's really the feeling that the universe will focus on giving you. So we got you covered.
But how do you know when overwhelm kind of takes over and now you're thrown into ways you're losing energy with just,
The other rule, if you're losing energy doing something, stop doing it. Like if you're really, really losing energy. Because oftentimes you're doing something very, very hard. Like it's very hard. It's like taxing, but you still get energy through it even though it's hard and taxing. When it's hard and taxing and you're losing energy, take a step back. Great question. So there is no roadmap in life other than what gives you energy and how you lose energy. That's the roadmap. Like the roadmap is what gives you energy and how you lose energy. That will give you every piece of information you need.
But by the same token, I can't abandon the project because there's still more to go. It would be something I started but didn't finish.
So that's the art of finding that balance. Like there's an art to like finding that balance and navigating these teachings in your own life. That's where awareness comes in. It's for like, where are all the answers? That's your mindfulness awareness practice, and asking yourself, what would I do if I truly loved myself? What's good for other people? Awareness practice, and every answer will come to you. So there's nothing I can tell you that's the correct thing from the conscious mind, but when you connect to yourself and your intuition, you can navigate the most delicate, difficult situations from a place of intuition, and meditation unlocks that for you. And you will absolutely get every answer. And great question, thank you. And what's your name?
Roxanne.
Thank you, Roxanne. Okay, who else has a question who hasn't asked one yet? Yes, you were waiting. You can start speaking if you want. And
Oh, sorry.
I've been lazy, so thank you. Okay, take it from me.
Well,
So
someone on
before
this side, take it.
making a wish list,
He wants one on
should
this
you put yourself in that high energy state? Like you just mentioned, your trainings include being, in that space, meditating.
so a great time to write wishes is like right after the sauna, like right after massage, where you're not like high energy in terms of adrenaline. Really, excitement, adrenaline take energy away. It's not a high energy state per se, because it's when you're losing energy. Like after a walk in the woods, after the sauna. Like Menla is the dream setup for writing wishes. Like after a calm, good meal, then you want to write your wishes. But really, like, write them all the time, like, take notes all the time. When you write, like, the final draft that you'll hide in the box, be in that state. You can take notes throughout the next 2-3 days.
So is it even worth it to make a wish list if you don't know yourself? Like you just mentioned, being in the ego, you want a red car.
We all do I think there's no such thing as completely not knowing yourself. All of us know ourselves to some extent. But if you run it through that test of like, what's expansive to me, what's good for all beings, I trust that every single one of you will get to a list that is truly yours. It's not out of reach. We all have some ego, and we all have a really good heart.
The other question I have is about surrender. So last year I was here at Menla and I set up some intentions. And the universe kind of laughed and gave me something better this year than I asked
Awesome.
for.
Happens a lot.
So and you mentioned different parts of the brain.
Yes.
How do you know the consciousness is inside the brain and the connection that you have with the universe? What's that technology to give you even something better than you want with your...
So the universe is compassionate. The universe is fundamentally compassionate. Everything the universe does is either to make your wishes come true or to help you grow. There's nothing else. There's no third category. So the universe is on your side. And the more you contribute to the world, the more you are on your own side, you just give the universe more of a chance to make your wishes come true. And you said something really interesting, and I promised I'd end with this, and I wanted to end with this after the Q&A, but I want to make sure I say it. The final step after you put things in the box, you write the wishes, you put things in the box, there is a final step to the checklist. You put it in the box and you say, universe, compassionate universe, I have these wishes. And if none of them come true, I'll be happy anyway. So how detachment, how non-attachment goes with this wishes practice. The most important last step is saying, universe, if not a single thing on this list happens, we are still friends. I am still grateful to be here. I still love, whether for you it's God or the universe itself, I am still grateful to you. I still trust you. And I will still, without any of these things coming true, I will still be happy every morning. I will still give the world my good mood every single morning. Because I trust that if these don't happen, I know something better will, like it did for you. So thank you. That was a great segue into detachment or non-attachment or surrender. You have all of these wishes. They're extremely clear. You'll take steps toward them. You're not attached to them. You know, I will be happy anyway. There really is. There's a million ways you can be happy on this earth. There's a million things that this world can offer you for your happiness. And if not one path, it'll be another path. Beautiful questions. I see a hand here.
I have a question based off of what you just
And give us your name too.
Anna,
Anna, and that was Roxanne. And what was your name?
Adina.
Adina. Nice.
thank you. So how would you go about someone who, for some reason, lost hope in the universe or in God? Like, they're of the belief of, well, the universe did me wrong, so why would I call it compassionate and loving when it seems like it doesn't care about me? Like, how you help someone get out of that and tell them, like, no, it does. You just need, like, the patience. And, like,
Send them to me. But like all of this, once you get more energy, you start to love the universe again. You can, any of these can be a starting point. Because every single day offers you a lot of joy, you just sometimes don't notice it. It's an awareness practice. It's like the Mahayana Buddhist teaching is that we're all already enlightened, we're just not noticing our enlightenment. We have to tune our awareness that we notice the enlightenment. The joy is there, you just might not notice it, and there are states where you don't notice it. Anything that gives you energy. And yeah, we probably all know people like that. Yes, give us your name and give us your question.
Karen, and I was just wondering yesterday when you were talking about ancestors, does that include your living family that is still here?
So when I say ancestors, I'm talking about mostly non-living family, but the same applies. Like, when they become our ancestors, they have that unconditional support towards us. When they're living, they still have their ego, and they may not have that unconditional support towards us. So the dynamic is different, but in terms of no judgment, in terms of wishing them well, no matter who that person is, and one of you asked a great question about like someone who did something horrendous, can you still wish for that person to be happy? And in reality, if someone did something destructive, there's even more reason to say, I wish that you be happy and at peace, because that's the same as wishing, may the world be free of some suffering. So wish well to the living relatives, but what I was talking more about are ones who have passed on. And we had another great answers question here if you want to ask it. Okay, so I see, let's do Paul, and let's go from the back forward. So 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, this is Paul. I find this all so wonderfully articulate and delicious. I just wonder, like, how did you get all of this, together? In any case,
how did I get all this together? Is a long answer.
That's not my question. Well, I found that maybe because I'm older, that even with all of this, the complexities, just the infinite varieties of how you can kind of deal with your life, that ultimately for me it's become a matter also of just becoming very simple.
Yeah.
Simplicity.
Simplicity is energy. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that, if people really ask me, who am I? I just say that I'm like a sophisticated mountain goat living on the side of the mountain.
Beautiful. Even that phrase has energy vibrating in it. And I'm not going to answer the question of how I drew from it, but really I studied many, many religious traditions in depth, focusing on energy, because I had very little energy kind of in my early 20s. I was very focused on energy. And it's studying ancient texts, a lot of ancient traditions very deeply, studying mind science, neuroscience very deeply, meditating, and for the last 14, 15 years, I've been working with teaching meditation, seeing what works for people and how to change their life, and seeing patterns. So this is like the essence of a lot of world teaching, scientific teachings, and just personal practice. That's the short answer, yes. And give us your name and your question.
Hi, my name is Leif, and I'm curious about the way that your teachings are in conversation with Dr. Thurman's teachings regarding the non-terminal life and thinking about ancestors.
Give me a more specific question.
Yeah, no, I'm getting there. Sorry. I'm overly verbose, I know. But what I'm curious about is if we, supposing a non-terminal life, when the ancestors die, they are, reincarnated in some form.
Yes.
And they're reincarnated as beings with an ego.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the ancestors that we engage with in the ancestor practice are their imagined spirits, or how do they exist?
Great question. I'm not going to make you shorten that one. Great question. So the teaching is timelessness, which means that everything exists all at once. Yes, they're your ancestors who have passed on. That sends you unconditional gratitude and compassion. That reality exists. Parallel to that, they are reincarnated. Just like every past life you've ever had is present. Or this is where Buddhism blows your mind and drives you a little bit crazy. But it's like you are already enlightened, you are already the Buddha, and yet you are also you. You're in linear reality, and yet you're in ultimate reality. If we look at ultimate reality, they're both your ancestors who are endlessly supportive to you, and that's a specific energy you contact, and they're also kind of in the linear reality of the next reincarnation. Both are true at the same time.
Thank you.
Great question. Yeah, so look up Buddhist ultimate reality versus linear reality, or email me and I'll send you my paper I wrote at Harvard Divinity School about this specific thing, because it actually interested me in the context of ancestors. but yeah, all of you now have my personal number and my email, which is how like I interact very personally with all the people I teach. And my goal isn't that just that you listen for me for 2 hours and you have an inspiring experience. My goal is to support you over time. My goal is to support you over many years to reach the happiness you want to reach. So I'm very personal and hands-on with these things. I'll send you the resources you want. We have a question here. Give us your name and your question.
My name is Augustia, and I have a question.
Basically, he wants to be a great soccer player like Messi, and his question is, how does he keep up with his intention? Because halfway through, like in mid-2026, he will be demotivated, so how he gets through all his intentions.
Sorry, what's the roadblock that you mentioned?
His mind is the roadblock. Basically, he wants to be a good soccer player like Messi, but he feels demotivated to work hard every day. That's his problem.
So is that an accurate reflection of your question? Is that what you want to ask, or do you want to add anything?
That's what.
You want to ask? So you want something, but it's hard to get it, or it's not motivating?
Yeah.
So anything that you want, in some ways, it can feel like, oh, I have to sit down and want to meditate, like for spiritual growth, or oh, I have to play soccer. But think of it in terms of first order and second order pleasures. Like eating a burger with French fries and like a shake, that can feel good like immediately, but it's ultimately destructive. There's things that are hard at the beginning that ultimately make you feel good. Like working towards something you care about, like playing soccer. It will give you that second order pleasure, it's still a pleasure, if you do it with self-compassion. If you do it from a place of inner critic, like, oh, I have to practice soccer, I'm not as good as that guy, I'll never be as good as Messi, I don't know if I'll get there. If you do it from like a self-flagellation point of view, it will be hard and you won't want to do it, and it will be too hard. If you think of it as in, I get to do this, I get to follow my highest intentions, I get to meditate every single day. Like there's people in the past who wouldn't have had those 20 minutes to meditate every single day or didn't have the knowledge. I do, like I get to do this as a gift to myself. I care about this, let me do this as a gift to myself. Let me meditate, let me exercise, let me do the work that fulfills me as a gift to myself, and in turn as a gift to the world. You'll feel the energy, the motivation, and it won't be hard. It'll be like a pleasure to do it. Just like meditating is a pleasure. Thank you, great question.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Questions? And then we'll do one last practice. Any other questions? Oh, we're right at 12, so last question. And give us your name and your question.
My name is Jordan. Hi, my name is Jordan. And I have been critiqued for being too happy or too positive in my life.
You won't be here. You will not be. In this space, you will not.
Because of the worry of it not being grounded enough in people's suffering, and the idea that one has to be more grounded in suffering in order to then try to make the world better. And so I'm curious how you think about focusing on one's own happiness and also being able to think about others and be able to solve this.
Great question. This is a great last question to wrap up. So meet every single moment with awareness. Some moments are moments of suffering, some moments are moments of joy. Meet every suffering, all the suffering around you, with compassion. So I wish you well. May you be happy. Let your heart open to every piece of suffering around you, and then also meet the joy with appreciative joy. And appreciative joy is like, let me delight, let me take joy. Your joy is my joy. If anyone is feeling joy, appreciation and joy. Joy in your life, this is the other roadblock to intentions coming true. When good things happen to you, accept it with the wise, Buddha, brilliant attitude of your family dog. If anything comes true, like your dog wouldn't be like, did I deserve this treat? Did I wag hard enough for this treat? Did I sit long enough for this treat? Will I get this treat tomorrow? When good things happen to you, and it sounds like you have this, say, I accept, thank you, universe. And then when there's suffering, that makes our heart bigger. If you can help, absolutely help. Give support, give warmth. And at every moment, again, awareness, compassion, appreciative joy. Like every single moment, one of those three things will be relevant to make it better. Wonderful. So let me send you wishes to end. We've covered a lot. Congratulations that we were able to go very deep in these 2 hours, which is a testament to the level of the group. I'm going to send you wishes like before. So you can just sit and you get to say, I accept. You've written wishes, you've meditated, now you can just say, I accept. Closing your eyes and crossing your legs, putting everything down. Let's set up this last 1 minute practice. May you be happy. May you feel joy. Just saying in your mind, I accept. May you have clarity about what you really want. May you have intentions that are truly yours. May your wishes come true. May you become happier, healthier, more joyful, more spacious every day of 2026. And may you have endless energy. And opening your eyes, and at this point, I just say thank you. Thank you so much for your attention. So I'll be around to answer questions. You have my email, elizabeth.pyjov@gmail.com. I'll send you the intentions checklist. Write your intentions. And now, like, I wasn't at the kirtan last night because I was sleeping so I could have the energy for this talk. I slept 12 hours last night because before I was traveling basically continent to continent in a way, and teaching. But I will be around at the talks. Come, say hi, introduce yourself. I'd love to meet you. And I'm excited to see you here at 11:30 for the last meditation of the year in just 3 days. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Excellent apologies, I had to step out a couple
That's
times
okay.
because I
No,
was
I don't
sick.
mind.
So
I don't mind at all. Thank you for your questions. Let me give the mic back so that. Oh, send it to me.
It was such a nice.
Oh, thank you for your question.